To see if it's working. Yes, it is. Hello everyone. Good to see you. Well, no one's jumped on yet. Hello, Beauty Spot. Pop your name in so I can refer to you by your name. That would be great, wouldn't it? Hello everyone. Hi, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. It's lovely to see you. Stopping in to do some free readings tonight, and of course the weekly energy report. Hello, Jessica. Lovely to see you. Hi, Kylie on Facebook, if you're wondering where she's come from. Hello, Kendall. Gina, hi. Hello, everyone. Lovely to see you all. So glad you're here. Yes, so I'm a bit excited today. I had a good shopping trip today. I brought it online to show you my awesome present I bought for myself today. I don't usually buy myself things, not very often, but I had this beautiful statue, this Isis statue that when I moved in out of my last house, it broke. And yes, I was pretty upset after it broke, and I just didn't see one to replace it. And then I was out at the shops today, and I walked in to buy some incense, and then I saw this, and it's like 3 times the size of the one that I had. And I thought, it must be. She is mine. This is my beautiful Isis statue. Isn't she gorgeous? Look how beautiful she is. Hey. So beautiful, so magical. Yes, so her gemstone actually is lapis lazuli. And there is some, I've had a few debates with people around this, but it is definitely the stone of Egypt, lapis lazuli. If you've seen, it's got beautiful gold specks through it, and it's just, yes, I'm in love with her. She's beautiful. So I don't have any candles for her yet. I sort of don't want to put candles in it because I don't want it to go all over the statue or the wax all over it. I love her. So my magical Isis has come home. She found her way home again. I'm feeling all sacred and feminine now with her in my in my presence. Yes, I love Isis. Absolutely. So yeah, lovely to see everybody here tonight. I'm thrilled that you're here. Hello, Rosemary. Hello, Kendall. Tara. Hello, Stephanie. So good to see everyone. Hello, Glennis. Victoria. Hello, Erin. Clara. Clara is such a pretty name, isn't it? Clara. It's a beautiful name. So, yes, so how this works, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Marina Lovas, and I refer to myself as your soul purpose mentor. And I support intuitive and spiritual entrepreneurs to monetize their passion to purpose, creating programs and services that sell out. And I teach tarot therapy, and practitioners tarot and therapeutic tarot. And I also do one-to-one channeling at the moment. At the moment, it's just one-to-one. Yes, teaching channeling. So right now, before I start doing the readings, I'm going to pop in a link in the comments section, and this link is for my fabulous 7-month tarot therapy training and mentoring. It's a 7-month program that actually ends up going for 9 months. And it is a program that was created by me to up-level your practice, to move you from novice to tarot practitioner. And so what I will do in that program is I teach you the therapeutic application of the tarot. You will not get anything like this anywhere. It is unique to me, unique to my practice. I will teach you mediumship and a particular style of mediumship that you can incorporate into your practice with your clients. I'll teach you Counselling 101. You'll learn somatic experiencing. You will learn how to apply psychotherapeutic techniques in tarot, and the course is absolutely fabulous. It's not just you're not just learning the 78 passageways of the mythic tarot, the sacred passageways, the psychology of the cards, the mythology of the cards, and also the astrology of these cards, but you're also learning the psychotherapeutic application of these cards whilst going on your own personal journey. Everybody that has done this course has had deep personal transformation, and my clients are thriving in their own business. Those who have applied themselves and have utilized the practices are standouts in the community. And I'm just so proud. I'm so proud of all the girls that have They're my colleagues, that have signed up. We're changing the face of tarot, moving away from fortune telling into a professional practice. So if you're interested, I would put a link in the comments section there. So it's right there. I do have an easy pay plan. So if you are interested, you need to put 9 months aside. It says 7 months, but we usually go for 9 months because we need practice time. We need to practice the therapeutic techniques with each other. So I want you to feel confident by the end of the course to go out there and practice as a tarot therapist, not a fortune teller, a tarot therapist, incorporating the intuitive and the psychic work with the psychotherapeutic work. So it's like psycho-spiritual. It's amazing. It's an amazing course. I'm so proud of it. So there you go. So now what I'm going to do is do our weekly tarot report. So I'm going to pick 3 cards, and these 3 cards are going to be the report for this week. And, I fully believe your spirit team, my spirit team, your higher self, my higher self, are all working in sacred collaboration together. And I've put my hand up to do the weekly tarot report for all of you. Happy to do it to channel. So yes, so I'll do that first. I'm going to pick 3 cards randomly, and then after I've done that, I'll do the readings for 1-to-1 readings. So you just need to put yes in the comments section, or put your question in the comments section. I don't mind questions. Please, I don't answer health questions. So anything that is to do with any sort of serious health issues, you really do need to see someone who is trained in that field. My background is in psychology, counselling, and psychotherapy, not medical. I'm not a medical practitioner, so I'm discouraging you from doing that. Really, Facebook isn't the place for that. It would probably be, a naturopath, doctor, whatever it is that you need that specialises in that field. So yes, if you put a yes in the comment section or ask me a question, I love questions. I don't mind questions. Questions are fun. They're great. So I'm going to pick 3 cards first to do the energy report. I'm just going to move my beautiful Isis statue over there because she's so beautiful. Let me show you. Those of you who haven't seen her, I just got her today. She broke. My last one broke when I moved house, and now I'm in my new house. I got supersized. I got Isis supersized because the other one was about that height. This is Isis supersized in my new house. I fucking love it. Love her. She's just beautiful. Anyway, okay, I'll pick the 3 cards now. Oh, I wonder what these cards are going to be. I've had a bit of a topsy-turvy day today. How has your day been? Has your day been okay? I was down the beach reading about one of my specialties that I love working with in the therapeutic practice is grief and loss. And I just love it so much, death, grief and loss. And anyway, I was down the beach reading some stuff, and then I got a bit triggered by some of the textbooks I was reading. I started going through my own grief. I'm okay. But yeah, it was a bit of an emotional day actually, but I'm back. I'm fine. Look, I'm fine. I'm together. I needed to grieve. You can grieve and be okay, for sure, psychologically well. All right, let's get started. I'm scared to turn the cards over. Let's see what the cards were like. You had a topsy-turvy day as well, Leanne. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think this moon cycle is a very auspicious moon cycle. I will say this, from an astrological point of view, we had the new moon being supersized by Jupiter, a Piscean moon, and Jupiter, and the combination was just so beautiful. And we can expect like beautiful surprises over this moon cycle. So even though we're having these emotional days, sometimes we have to clear the emotional debris so that we can see clearly, so we can be grateful and see what's in front of us. Sometimes we get in our own way. We can block the view through our own sort of limited beliefs. So, clearing emotions, it's good, it's healthy. Okay, first card. Oh, I'm giggling about it because I think, gosh, yes, I know, I'm feeling it. So we've got our beautiful Helen of Troy has shown up as our first card. Helen, sometimes I refer to her as subliminal Helen. So she's in the sign of Scorpio. She represents our deep, dark, unconscious desires. Well, maybe not so dark, but they feel hidden and dark, because they're out of our conscious awareness. These are the attractions that we just can't help. The feelings that we have towards someone that we just don't know why. It's just there and we feel it, and that's just how it is. And that can be around a business, it can be around career. It is the emotional feelings that we have it's like it has strength, it's passion. It's the passion that we have towards someone or something. And so when she comes up in a reading, it is about acknowledging, we want to acknowledge this feeling that we have towards something or someone. But at the same time, we also have to acknowledge that we can't force two hands together. And Helen has her way. Well, in the story, let me tell you a bit about Helen, because I think it's relevant. So Helen was married to Menelaus. Has anybody heard of Troy? I should say this first, the fall of Troy. Has everybody heard the fall of Troy, the story around that? So she was known as the face that launched 1,000 ships. She was so beautiful that she caused this war. And how this war happened is she was married to Menelaus, and he was an ugly monster. He wasn't a nice king. He was awful. And she was married to him, and Paris from Troy came over to do some deals with the Prince of Troy, to do some deals with Menelaus, and Helen and Paris fell in love, and they eloped, and they took off, and he took her back to Troy, and this caused this massive war. And this is kind of the energy of this card, is that it's uncontrollable feelings. It represents those uncontrollable desires that you just can't help feeling towards something. So does it make it right? Does it make it wrong? Well, it depends on how your moral compass, or where your moral compass sits. Sometimes it is appropriate and fine, and other times it's like, well, it's a bit taboo, because that's what Scorpio is all about, taboo things. So there is this kind of like sexual taboo nature, a dark nature to Helen. Her dress is fully immersed in the water. You can see this, fully immersed in the water. She's completely in touch with her feelings, with her emotionality. And she's driven by, I feel, this is how I feel. It's not really about how she thinks. It's all based on feeling nature. So the message of this card is, don't ignore. You can't ignore what's there. Don't ignore how you feel. Let the feelings be there. Let them show up. Don't, hide from those feelings, because they will unconsciously come up in some way, shape, or form, and potentially in an unhealthy way if you don't go there and acknowledge them. So you can't repress it forever. Sometimes emotions are a bit like a tidal wave. They just catch you by surprise. And that's kind of like the intensity of this card. So acknowledging our feelings and our emotions this week, particularly in regards to passion, things that you love, people or things that you love. Don't deny yourself. Don't deny yourself of how you feel. She can be. I'm giggling because there is a taboo nature to her, right? There is this kind of sexual nature to her. So it can be sort of like, on the darker side of things. Okay, the next card. Right, so plans in place. Now this tells me, the wands are about, I was going to say this tells me that the Queen of Cups is very much about purpose as well, being purpose driven. But we've got here Jason of the Argonauts, actually, with this card in the wands. So the wands are about destiny, soul purpose. Hello, gnomes. Destiny, soul purposed. It's about your creative energy. It's about the imagination. It's about expansiveness. It's about divine inspiration. It's about your life being the art. Like your purpose-driven life isn't just about the career you have. It's the kind of life that you wish to lead. For example, like today, I was whimsically wishing I had a van and I was traveling around Australia, going from summer to summer, having an endless summer. That's the energy of the wands. It's those sort of whimsical wishes, dreaming away, expansive thoughts about becoming an oracle for our own future. Your imagination is a portal. It is a portal to the future. Your imagination is real. It exists just as your rational mind exists. They both exist, except your imagination is a portal for the future. It gives you insights. Your rational mind helps you to plan. And this is the planning card. So Jason is grounding his ideas, his whimsical dreams and wishes into reality. If you want what you want, you have to make plans. You've got to make it happen. You've got to put some plans in place. Trust your passion. Trust the emotional energy that you have towards this thing that you love, whether it be a person or a thing or a business idea. Trust it, but you've got to put plans in place. This is a transitionary card. This is about focusing on those plans, getting something solid down, putting those two wands into the ground and grounding this energy. So it's not just sort of this emotional, like all over the place energy. This is about getting plans in place. So here's the magical element of this card. You will not know what is around the corner unless you take that first step. So that first step is necessary. You can see the vision. You can imagine what you want. You can see it in your mind's eye. Of course you can. If you allow yourself to go there, you can. And whatever you dream of, whatever you long for, whatever your heart desires, it's yours. It's yours. But you've got to you've got to put plans in place. So yes. So what I was saying is that you've got to take a step, and you won't know what's around the corner until you take a step. And that's what's the magic. That's what's so magical about the wands. It's about being on the edge of discovery. And the whole way through the story, Jason doesn't know what's coming next. He just knows that he has to go and get this golden fleece, which is his sole purpose. He has to go and bring it home. But he doesn't know how he's going to get there. You know, he's got a little plan. He's got a plan in place, but he doesn't know what's going to happen on that journey. And he gets divinely compensated in many different ways. All sorts of things happen. So, yes, you've got to open your heart and be on the edge of discovery. And you just can't know everything. You've got to take the first step. Every step you take opens up multiple timelines. New doorways open up every time you take a step. Each step you take creates more options, creates more timelines, creates more doorways. But you don't know what those doorways are until you take the step. So the step's really necessary. Okay, put plans in place to take those steps. Oh, great cards. I'm so happy, right? I'm so pleased with these cards. Big smile on my face because I was crying today. So I've moved from crying to happy. That's, I'm a bit like that anyway. I'm night and day, day and night, day and night, a bit like that. Anyway, oh, look what we've got. Look at this beautiful card. Oh, this is like the promise. Now, let me tell you about this card. But the first thing I want to say about this card, all commitment. When you're serious about what you want, you have to, you can't turn back. You've got to move forward and go all in. This is the card of the full commitment to go all in on your heart's desires. Don't turn back. So, picture this, okay? You're going to lock the door, lock the past behind you. Lock it. Take the key, lock the door. And when you've got that key in your hands, you're going to throw that key in the middle of the ocean. So it's forever gone down, and it hits down at the very bottom, the bottom of the ocean that nobody has ever really touched before, all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, gone. This is the kind of commitment that is being called of us this week, to go all in. And when you are serious about what you want, life will conspire with you to make it happen, but you've got to be serious. You've got to take it seriously. You've got to, do you have to be serious? No, you need to go and have fun, but you've got to be seriously committed to the journey. This is the great commitment. Those of you who've been wanting commitments from your relationships, this is the commitment card. Those of you who've been wanting to see, something happening in your business, this tells me that you're in for the long haul. Those of you that have been wanting a child, or wanting the thing that you want, it's there for you. It's there for you, but you've got to commit. Look how balanced this card is. Can you see how balanced it is? Look at the balance in that card. That's the balance of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. And it's a beautiful card. This is the balance of the anima and the animus. It is the balance, you being like understanding that life requires both. It requires action, and it also requires being receptive, and it requires internal referencing, and it also requires external referencing. It requires internal action, that is in going inwards and working on your inner reality to imagine and feel and call in what you want, but also taking the external action, like doing the things that need to be done to make it happen. This is the full commitment. This is the card of full commitment. You will get what you want. You will have what you want, but you've got to fully commit. Oh, these are just great cards for this week, don't you think? Don't you think? Fabulous cards. Didn't we have the death card there? No, that was the week before. I'm still not over that. Okay, let's summarize these cards. Oh, emotional week. Go all in. Feel what you feel. Let yourself feel all your feelings. Let yourself have. Let yourself be passionate. Open your heart to your desires. Feel. Go there. Go all the way there. This is like these. Like let yourself feel into your heart and feel into all the emotional and energy, so it can drive and it can manifest what you want. It's not enough to think about it. You've got to feel. You've got to feel into it and align with it. And let me say this: if you want what you want, you've got to give. You've got to make a deal with life, make a deal with God, make a deal with the universe, and say, if, I want, to have a thriving business, for example, I'm going to give the very best tarot program I can possibly give to ensure that my people who do my program are going to have the best experience ever. And that's what I'm prepared to do. I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. And the universe says, well, okay, if you're willing to give, my wish, your wish is my command. And that's how it works. So you've got to be willing to give to have what you want, and feel into the very essence, the emotionality of what it is that you want. Make plans. You've got to put a plan in place. If you want what you want, you've got to put the stake in the ground and claim it. And yes, look who's in that. You won't notice this, but I know this. This is the Hierophant in the cave here. That's Jason had audience with his spiritual advisor, with his spirit guide. Trust your spirit guides. For God's sake, people, I know all of you who do channel, hear your spirit guides saying, trust, 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 trust. The famous word of the guides. Trust them. They know what they're doing. They're here to amplify your soul purpose. They're here to amplify your true desires, what you truly desire from the bottom of your heart. They're here to amplify that and bring that into reality. But they can't do that without you. You've got to be a part of that. So make the plans, put the plans in place. You will be divinely compensated as you take a step forward and you sit on the edge of discovery, and keep, it's like lots of micro steps create giant leaps. They do. Okay, the next card. Go all in. This is the big commitment. You get what you want, but you've got to commit. You've got to commit. Throw the key, lock the door behind you, throw the key in the middle of the ocean and let it sink. The only way forward now is forward. The only way to go is forward. Go towards your heart's desire and let yourself have it. You can have what you want. You can't give up. And that's the key, is actually not giving up. Too many people give up. Don't give up. It's there for you. Okay. So now I'll do some readings. Oh, thanks, Gnomes. Yes, it's a dress, actually. It's a new dress I bought today. Somebody said, I'm loving your top, Marina. You look lovely tonight. It's a dress. It's a dress, actually. It's quite tight fitted. I won't stand up and show you because that would be ridiculous. But it's very nice, and it's got very puffy sleeves. You'll see the sleeves like super puffy. I like it. I love it. It's really nice. That with my Isis statue. Yes, I found this. I'm just shuffling the cards. I did find this beautiful dress shop near where I live in Karrinyup. It's called Karrinyup Shopping Centre. Oh, it's just beautiful. Everything. I wanted everything in there. I couldn't afford to buy everything, but one day I will. There was a few pieces in there. I was like, oh, I need that, and I need that, and I need that. So I'm going to go back when I've made a bit of money again and go and treat myself to another dress. So many beautiful dresses in there. Like, I've got nowhere to wear it though because I'm unvaxxed, and I've been banned in Perth from not allowed to go anywhere, not allowed to go to restaurants. not allowed to go into pubs. I can only go outside. That's it. So I've got nowhere to wear it. So why not wear it online, hey? Why not? Okay, so let me start. Who's this? Yvette. I'm really struggling. I'd be so blessed to have a reading. Love and light. Hello, Yvette. Hello, Yvette Bayliss. I'd love to read for you. Let me pick a couple of cards for you, Yvette. Let's see what message Spirit has for you tonight. Oh, so Yvette, the first card that we've got is the Queen of Wands. Now, I'm sweating. I have got my air conditioning on tonight, but it doesn't feel like it's even reaching. That's why I left the door open, because last time I was sweating. Anyway, the Queen of Wands represents your heart's desires, and she represents being patient about having what you want. Sometimes when she comes up in a reading, she is about like wanting to have some kind of purpose or meaning, or you have a creative project or a creative something that you want to produce or manifest, whether that be, stepping into a field of study, or maybe you dream of doing some kind of degree, or maybe even having the love that you want. And this card, it represents being patient with yourself. She is in the sign of Leo. So the question that I would ask you is, Yvette, is to start, ask yourself, what makes me shine? What gives me that shiny feeling in the world? How do I get lit? What gives me that feeling of being lit? Because she is the sun. She's ruled by the sun. Leo's ruled by the sun, and it's the it is our light, our soul in its in the flame, our inner flame being lit so bright, doing what we love. So in the story, Queen Penelope had to wait for her husband to come home, and it took him 16 years to come home. But in the meantime, everybody was telling her that he was never going to return, but she knew in her heart that he would. And so she didn't succumb to any of these manipulations, and all these men were trying to get her attention and steal the throne from her husband. But she didn't give in. She didn't give up, and he eventually came home. So the message with this card is that you've got to be patient. Be patient with yourself to have what you want. There is a second career. I really do feel like this is about a second career for you, Yvette. So I don't know what you're doing for a job. I'm not going to pretend to know. I don't know, but this is the second career. So it would be really a benefit for you to start working on this hobby, or whatever this thing is that has you feeling lit, that has you feeling all shiny, to start like opening up to that. Let yourself have it. Let yourself have this career. There's an opportunity for a second career if you want it, where you'll feel like you're at a stage in your life where you can actually you've got the energy to make it happen, to pull it off. You can pull it off. For me, my business didn't start thriving until I was in my late 40s, 45 plus, 46, I think, when I really started making money. So it can happen at any time, and often people start making money sort of later on in life. So just let yourself have this this desire that you want. Go all in on your passion to purpose. Go all in on it, and be patient with yourself. Let yourself have it. The second career. Hello, Miranda. Good to see you. Okay, so Victoria. Hello, Victoria. Victoria Carrier. Hi. Will this current relationship go anywhere? Oh, let's ask the cards, shall we? Let's see what the cards have to say. Yes. Oh, relationships, they're just like, they're tricky, aren't they? Don't you think? They are tricky. Okay, Victoria, this is for you. Let me see. 1, 2. Oh, Victoria. Okay, so I sort of don't want to okay, so the first card that's come up is the Death card. Now, when this card comes up, it is about letting go. And sometimes it's easier, rather than saying let go, sometimes we have to just let things be. Sometimes we just have to let things be. I think you've had a broken heart, actually. I think your heart's been broken, and your heart is just finally starting to heal. And you've been going through your own grief, grieving around the loss of what once was. And loss is, grief is the emotions, the sadness that we feel, and the loss is the thing that's left our life, and the object or whatever it is that's left our life. And the death card is it is about mourning, and that sometimes this, it takes time. It takes time. So yes, there's an opportunity for a new relationship, but you're still grieving over the past. And I just recognize that's still, it's still there. There's still some like, I was saying to someone yesterday that grief is a bit like this, that it's like glitter. You get, when you scatter glitter everywhere, it's really hard to tidy it up, to clean it all up. You always still kind of find specks of it all over the place. And it does, I don't think it ever goes away. We just reconcile with the fact that that we will grieve, and that it comes in waves, and there's no order, there's no particular way to grieve either. So I feel like there's still some like grief around the past, but this is the opportunity for a new relationship for sure. But you've got to let go. You've got to let go of what once was. And yes, and so this is about healing the heart for sure. This is about heart consciousness and healing the heart, and loving yourself and seeing yourself as being worthy of love. You've got to be gentle. This is the card of fragility. It's the fragile beginnings of a new relationship. So you've got to be gentle with yourself, the relationship that you're having with yourself as well. So, will this current relationship go anywhere? Well, so you've got to let go of the past. Okay, that's all I'm going to say around that. Yes, exactly, Marie. Oh, there's so much grief. It just makes me cry thinking about grief. It is like it's such a sacred emotion, grief. And it can be really complicated as well. It can be really complicated for people. There is such a thing as like complicated grief. It can be difficult. And, grief isn't, sometimes, we can really dislike someone and still grieve. And, sometimes it is about grieving the lack of opportunity to have the potential of being able to heal or have what you didn't have in that relationship. Once it's gone, once it's ended, once they've passed over, then there's no opportunity to even have what you were hoping to get from that relationship that you didn't get. Does that make sense? So yes, it's I love working with grief. I love it. I'm not afraid of it. It's sacred. It's so spiritual. And it's definitely a topic of interest for me, especially death, dying, all of that sort of area fascinates me. Yeah, okay. So next person I'm going to read for Mary. Hello, Mary Heaven. Lovely to meet you. I'm going to just pull a couple of cards for you. So just keep popping your questions in because it scrolls through pretty quickly. And yes, and then I shall read for you. Oh, Mary. Okay. So Mary, this tells me that you're contemplating over the past, or you're contemplating over the potential of a lover returning or potentially returning. And there's like, I feel like with this card, well, there's a couple of layers to this card. So first of all, these cards, I should say. First of all, this card, you need to trust yourself. You really do need to trust yourself. I think that you've probably, and I think this happens when we've been in difficult relationships, and especially ones where we may have been lied to, or maybe maybe you feel like you're being lied to, or maybe there's been some, dishonesty that sometimes, I just want to say that I want you to trust your feelings around things. Don't doubt yourself. It's like It's like you've got these voices that keep telling you that you cannot have what you want, that you cannot have the relationship that you want, that you cannot have what you want. So, this is the card of yes, of the doubts and fears. But this tells me that what you want is closer than you think, that the kind of relationship that you want is closer than you think. And yes, it is you contemplating on the past and what once was, and recognizing your, how you truly feel and all of those sorts of things. But it is a card of speeding things up. It's like, you can trust your heart. I want you to trust your heart, that you will have what you want. You've got to trust your heart. Your heart knows the truth, and you know the truth now, is my point with this card. So yes, I think love is closer than you realize. Love is closer than you realize. You've got to stop doubting yourself and doubting, that you can have what you want. Okay, next person is, all right, Carrie. Hi, Carrie Burgess. Hi, Marina. I would love a career message if guided, please. Lovely. Sure. Hi, Chris. Hello. Nice to see you. Hi, Nicole. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Lovely to see you. Yes, so whilst I'm giving these cards a shuffle, I'll just put a link into my fabulous. It is fabulous. It's not, I'm not just saying that just for the sake of it. It's up in my bio. It is my 7-month, which is actually 9-month. I say 7 months because I never know quite when it's going to finish. It'll be, I say 7 months minimum, but actually you need to block out 9 months. It's a 9-month tarot therapy training and mentoring where I take you through the 78 sacred passages of the Mythic Tarot, learning all the psychological application of the cards, the mythology, plus the psychotherapeutic application of tarot readings. So you'll learn how to become a tarot therapist. And the skills that you learn in this training, you won't learn anywhere else. I've got some unique trainings in this 7-month course, based on all the work that I do in my private practice. So those of you who have had sessions with me in my private practice who have signed up actually to do some of my courses, you'll be learning how to do those techniques. And I get really good reviews. I love my work. I'm invested. I care about my work. I've put all my heart and soul into that course. It's all of the years of all of my trainings wrapped up into this beautiful tarot therapy, training, mentoring program to help you upgrade your practice, to move from novice to professional tarot therapist. I honestly did get sick of the sea of tarot readers out there that are, fortune telling and offering up really poor advice with lack of counseling skills. And so this course will give you all of those things that are missing, the missing pieces to your practice. And learn from one of the best. I've invested years and years of my money and time and energy and my heart into this training, into my trainings, and then of course into this course. So yeah, it's beautiful. Highly recommend it. And those of my clients who have committed to it and committed to the practice are thriving and are standing out in the tarot community. They are standing out, which is what I want for you. I want you to stand out, as a professional. Yeah. So, okay, let me pick some cards for Carrie. Yeah, so if you've got any questions about the course, message me. I'm not going to try and sell it to you, during our chat. Of course, I'm going to share with you the benefits of it, but I've got, isn't it? You're going to spend 9 months with me weekly. We show up weekly. It's via Zoom. 9 months of personal development as well. So you need to like me. So I'm not going to force you to do something to get stuck with me for 9 months. Could be worse, hey? Could be worse. Anyway, okay. All right, Carrie. So first card is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this tells me that you've got an idea, that there's an idea for you. You've got ideas. And this is an opportunity. This is a very opportunities abound. This is like the magical manifesting card of the Mythic Tarot. This is the power that the energy that one needs to get their project off the ground. And this is a windfall. This is a windfall if you choose to follow through. So this tells me that you've either been offered a new opportunity, or you've got something in mind that you want to manifest, and it will bring wealth to you, not just financial wealth, but imagine waking up every day loving what you do. This is the energy of this card, but it requires you to invest your time, your energy, your money, your resources. You've got to go all in. And so there'll be you will be divinely compensated. This is the confirmation that if you haven't already, this is the sign that you have, that it's the confirmation. It's a confirmation card. It's a yes. It's a yes. Go do the thing. Go do it. If you haven't started, do it. Yes, yes, yes. So the Seven of Cups. So now we've got you having to do some of the personal work. So it's going to require you to, I feel like with this card, to do some of the personal work that has you stepping in your own power and your own sense of agency. You having to develop this strong sense of you in your practice, whatever that practice is. It also tells me that you're looking for love, that you're looking for that connection, for that love connection. But if you want what you want, you're going to have to become the very thing that you want from a partner or from your partner. You have to become that. So, this is the card of you doing some of that personal work, and that personal work will actually impact on your career as well, because as you step into your power, as you step into your authenticity, you magnetize, you attract more of what you want. I feel like there's a really good opportunity for you, and that you've got to say yes to it. You've got to go in and say yes. If you haven't already said yes, say yes. Or if it's a business idea, go all in, make it happen. But you're going to have to work. You're going to have to do the work. So that's your message. Okay, so next person. Hello, Kate. Kate Mack. Nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've joined. That Kate's on Instagram. I'm just saying hello on Instagram. Oh, it's always nice to see new people, to meet new people. Shit, I nearly knocked off my new statue. You remember those of you who are on Instagram, new people, I bought this new statue. And I was just saying that I had one before. It's about that height. This one's bigger, and I broke it when I was moving house. And I nearly knocked over that again. Fuck, move it out of the way. Christ, she hasn't even been in the house for 3 hours. God. Oh, don't want to knock that off. Okay, so yes, Kate. I'm going to read for Kate. Hello, Kate. Let me pick a card for you on Instagram, and then I'll read for Libby. After Kate, Libby, I'll read for you. Let me read for Kate. So here we go. So Kate Mack. Oh, Kate. Okay, so the first card that I've got for Kate on Instagram is the Nine of Swords. Now, the swords always represent, they're karmic cards. They represent karma, and they represent truth. They represent bit of chaos, bit of destruction, but they are the most transformational of the minor arcana in the Mythic Tarot. People get scared of the swords, but the swords are actually the most powerful of the minor arcana, and they actually give us what we want. But, the old saying, no pain, no gain. Yes, there's some pain with these cards for sure. So in this card, poor Orestes, in the story, Orestes had to murder his mother. He had to avenge his father's death. And part of his lineage, like part of his ancestral path, is he had to murder his mother. And he was guilt-ridden by this. He was tormented by this. And he was just, he was completely devastated by what had to be done and what was done. So this is the card of like having fears around the past, where we catastrophize, where the anxiety, this is an anxiety-provoking card. It is the way in which we catastrophize around the future. The message of this card is that we have to learn to compartmentalize situations, take one situation for what it is, and leave it, compartmentalize it, put it into that drawer and recognize that it is not a predictor of your entire future. Often what people do when they are very highly anxious or when they catastrophize, they'll take that one event and they'll globalize it. They'll put it on top of everything, their whole future based on this one event. We have to learn with this card to compartmentalize our experiences, that one event isn't a predictor for the rest of your future. So the message with this card for you, Kate, on Instagram, is that your future, when you consider your future, think about your future in the context of what you want rather than what you don't want, and start making decisions based on what you want rather than what you don't want. You don't make decisions in fear or based in thinking the worst outcome. Start making decisions with the half, the glass half full. Think about what is possible rather than impossible. But open your mind to the potentialities of what is possible. You can have what you want. You are being guided. You are being guided by spirit, Kate. You need to trust your guardian angels. You need to trust that you're being guided by something greater than yourself. And this is the card of forgiveness. It is about forgiving yourself for the chaos of the past that you mentioned before. Lots of past chaos, yes. Forgiving yourself for the mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, don't we? And if we knew how to do better at the time, we would have. Most of us don't intentionally, deliberately do things to harm or to hurt other people. Most of the time it's an unconscious reaction or an unconscious response. Majority of us are good people with good intentions, and we fuck up every now and then. We make mistakes. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the mistakes of the past. Have compassion and mercy for yourself, and practice loving yourself. But you don't need fixing anymore, Kate. Just bring yourself home to love and know that you are good enough as you are, and to start thinking about your future in the context of what you want. You can have what you want. You are being guided by spirit. You are being guided. Okay. Libby, this is for you. Hi, Libby, on Facebook. Oh, I feel a bit all dizzy after that one, Kate. You've got a very strong female energy around you, a very strong female guide. I don't know much more than that. Maybe she's a grandparent or something, or a mother. She feels very strong and powerful and, determined to get through to you. Yes. Like a mother archetype. She feels like a mother archetype. So she could be a grandmother. There's a motherly feel to her. Very protective. Very strong. Very powerful. Okay. Oh, your nan's mum. Oh, okay. Got it. Yes, got it. You must make an altar for her. Acknowledge her. Bring her in. Bring the memories of her in. When we connect with our loved ones who have passed over through their memories, if we couldn't remember them, if we didn't have a memory of them, they would no longer exist, and all those memories reside in your heart. So you bring your attention to your heart, and you remember your times together, or you remember the conversations that your parents had about these particular people, to bring them into your conscious awareness, or bring them into your reality. And yeah, there's more to it than that. I teach all of that in my tarot therapy 7-month training. Those remembering conversations are probably the most profound conversations I have with my clients. They're the most moving, and quite often I'm feeling quite emotional with my clients through them. It's very hard not to it's difficult to be a robot in those conversations, for sure. To be detached, in other words. Okay, Libby, this is for you. Oh, Libby. Oh, look what's come up. So tonight's reading. Oh, look, you're a very passionate woman. You're wanting passion. You are wanting passion. You're wanting this love. You want to fall in love. You want the depth of love. You want like that crazy, what the Beyonce song in my head, you know, Crazy in Love. That song's playing like over and over again in my mind. Spirit does that sometimes. They play songs for me, you know, and yes, and that's one of them. I can hear it playing in the background. You want to fall crazy in love. And this is the intensity, the passion that actually is within you. There's a part of you that feels like you have to compete, or you feel like there's too much competition, or you're not, you know, the message, let me just say this, the message with this card is that you're being called to rise above the competition and just be you. Just be you. You don't have to try and be anybody else. Libby, you will have the love that you want. You will have the love that you want, but you've got to rise above this feeling of not being good enough, or feeling like you have to compete with other people around you. You don't. You don't. All you need to do is just be you, be your authentic self. Sometimes the message with this card is really about you against you, which is not a good way to describe it, but it's like the only thing that's standing in the way between you and having what you want is you. Like, you've got to rise above what other people are doing. Stop worrying about how other people look, or what they're doing, but stop. Just stop. Like, focus, put the focus on your path, and yes, the focus on your career. You will meet someone through your career, through doing what you love, through fulfilling your soul work, doing what you love. You'll meet someone that way, you know, as you're fulfilling your passions. But you've got to stop focusing on what everybody else is doing. It's really hard. I know it's hard, isn't it? We compare ourselves to others all the time, especially when you're single. I know it's hard. It's hard not to compare yourself. And, you know, Christ, I've got every cream under the sun in my bathroom at the moment. Every wrinkle cream you can possibly think of, rollers, this, that, retinol. You know, I get it. I do get it. But, you know, you've got to somehow rise above that. You will have what you want. You will have the love that you want, but you've got to rise above. You've got to rise above. Your current challenge right now is to stop comparing yourself to everybody else. You've got to stop it. And you will meet him through work, through something to do with your passion to purpose. Okay, that's the message. All right. If you didn't know, those of you who don't know, I actually do love readings. I do love readings. I pull out my astrology chart. So I look at your astrology chart and I look at what is going on, your ideal partner in your astrology chart, and look at anything that is really relevant to relationship in your chart. I usually go for about an hour doing that. And then what I do is I then pull the cards out, and then we look at the cards, and I do a forecast for the next 6 months or a year. I don't know how long, usually 6 months. When I say I don't know how long, it means it depends on your ability to take action or your willingness, how soon you're willing to take action, to take the steps. Yes, I do love readings. So if you want a combined astro love reading, private message me, Kate. Private message me. I'd love to do one for you. Yes, private message me. They're $222. So that's like 2 readings, really. You get 2 readings. My readings are like one-off readings are $180. A combined astrology read, like a full astrology natal chart. Oh, I will say this. If you want one, you've got to know your birth date and time. Of course, you know your birth date. I'm talking about your birth time. I need to know your birth time. Yeah, so I do like a full natal chart astrology as well as tarot read, and those are $297 for a full bifter, the full bifter. Or if you want a love read, just focusing on love, we'll look at Venus, we look at Mars, we look at the 7th house, we look at the 5th house, we look at the sun, we look at the moon, we look at see what's going on in your chart on the descendant. And we look at where Juno's hanging out, you know, all the aspects relevant to relationship. And then plus I do a relationship read, a tarot read. So that's $222. If you want one of those, probably should put a link. I'll put a link in later. But if you want one of those, message me. I don't have it on my website yet. I was trialing them I was trialing them. I had them trialed for $150. Would you believe it? And none of you jumped in, and they've been amazing. Well, a few people did. None of you guys did on Spirit Directory. Some other people did. They've been amazing. They've been fabulous. I've been surprised at how amazing. Jealous, because I wish someone could do it for me. I mean, I can do my own chart, but it's not the same. I can't do, I'm too close to do my own reading. Anyway, okay, enough. Ready to move on. So, oh, Christ. Carolyn, all right. Carolyn Thomas, please, any messages from Spirit or the universe for me? Yes. Right. Okay. So now, sometimes when this card comes up, Carolyn, it is about having to, like, Carolyn, I feel like I've read for you before. Are we on repeat? Are these actually the same cards that we had before? I feel like I'm on repeat, and I feel like I've read for you before. Can you confirm if I have? Because I feel like these are the same cards that I pulled last time. You can't make that shit up, can you? I feel like I have. Anyway, okay, so this card represents having to keep your cards close to the chest. Sometimes we have to keep secrets, and these secrets are really like, they're about, keeping other people safe. They're about keeping yourself safe. They're about keeping about keeping yourself safe, but they're about like having to keep your cards close to your chest. Sometimes life requires like a white lie, and especially when we're looking for new work, for example, new jobs, and you might be in some employment, and you're not going to go to your manager and say, or your upline, and say, oh look, I don't like my job, I'm going to quit, but I'm not ready to quit yet. I'll let you know when I find another job. You're not going to do that, are you? No, you're not. You'll go out of your way to look for work first, and then give your notice. So this card, it is about some of that, Caroline. I think you need to, or Carolyn, I think you need to, keep your cards close to your chest. Don't say so much. Stop. Shh. Quiet. Shush, shush, shush. Keep your cards close. Yes. So this, Carolyn, I think I spoke about your son. Was it your son? I feel like we're on repeat around this. I'm going to say this is the card of healing. This is the card of healing. So this tells me that things are going to work out. Things are going to work out just fine. So stop worrying. It's going to work out just fine. And yes, that's all I'm going to say. Okay. Next person. Clara Rose, where are you? Oh, Christ. Hello. Oh, yes, Clara Rose. Where are my peeps? Where are my people, like my soul tribe? I know you guys are my soul tribe as well, but like my soul tribe that are part of my community that are doing my programs and courses and stuff. Where are you guys? Where are you all? I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you. Hi. I don't know if it doesn't come up with on StreamYard. I don't know if it doesn't come up on StreamYard. I don't know why it doesn't come. Carlina, there you are. There's someone. Katie, hello. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. Look at me getting all excited. I love my peeps. I love them. My soul tribe. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hello. So glad you're there. Yes. Yes, so happy. Oh, so glad you. Oh, Shannon, hello. Yes, thrilled. There's my peeps. There they are. Love it. Love it. Happy about that. I'm sweating. Christ. Sweat's running down my legs. I've got the aircon on, but I'm still hot. It's all hot in here. Okay, I'm gonna read a card for you, Shannon. Next, I'm gonna pull a card for you. But before I do that, Clara, where are we? Oh, Clara. Okay, so what am I going to say about this card for you? What's dropping in is expect miracles. Expect miracles. Life is pretty miraculous. Things catch us by surprise. Sometimes we don't realize how lucky we are. And I feel like you're going to be divinely compensated soon. All the efforts that you've put in, this is like a windfall. Trust that a windfall is coming. There is a windfall that's coming, and you need to trust that. You will get what you want. This tells me that you've either got a new project, or you've been working on something, or you've applied for something. It's something you've been waiting for is on its way to you. You will get confirmation that you're on the right path, that you're doing the right thing. Now, the Strength card. This is about boundaries. This card is like in the Mythic Tarot. So the Mythic Tarot is definitely different to the Rider-Waite. It's based on Greek mythology and also astrology, actually. I love the Mythic Tarot. They are like the best deck. They are genius. I wish it was me that invented them. They're so good. They're like the best tarot cards ever. Highly recommend you purchase them. If you love, I should add, that's what I teach in my program, Jungian, like the 7-month program, Jungian psychology. If you love Jungian psychology, these cards are an introduction to Jungian psych or psychotherapy. Love, 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 love. They're the best. Anyway, okay. So let me tell you about this card, Clara. This card represents boundaries. You need to learn how to say no. I think you overgive. And my feeling is that you get taken advantage of, and then you get very upset and angry and upset and frustrated and resentful. This is about putting up boundaries, saying no. Instead of saying yes when you mean no, say no. Say no. And yes, it's going to create some space. I think you're scared of the conflict that might come up if you say no, that you might be abandoned by people. This card represents you building a healthy or creating or manifesting or developing a healthy ego, developing a healthy sense of me, myself, and I. You are important. You are just as important as anybody else. So this is about you stepping into your power, using your voice to exercise your power by saying, no, no, I'm not. You know, if it's an I don't know, it's still a no. It's actually still a no. If it's an I don't know, it's still a no. So, you know, really, I feel like with this card that one of your big lessons right now is learning how to set healthy boundaries and not transgress those boundaries as well. What do I mean by transgressing? You make a commitment to yourself and say, right, from this point onwards, I'm not going to do this. And then the very next day you go, oh, okay, I'll just do that. And then you get upset with yourself because you've transgressed your own boundary. This is the card of you need to start like honoring yourself. It's time. If you're worth having abundance. You're worth having the things that you want. So you've got to start putting up some healthy boundaries. That's your message, Clara. Okay. So next person. Oh, the next person is Shannon on Instagram. Hi, Shannon. Good to see you. Shannon's got these cards. You know, these cards, they actually cost my deck. Look who's come up, Shannon, the healer. On my deck, all these cards, they're out of print. You can buy the new Mythic Tarot, but these ones are out of print and they're quite expensive to buy. Shannon got hold of these for $10 or something like that. These ones. She's doing my course at the moment, doing my tarot practitioner's training. I've got a practitioner training. So she's doing that one. She's really good at it. She'll be doing cards before you know it. She's already doing them. Aren't you, Shannon? She's amazing. Clear. Shannon, with Shannon's readings, she's like no BS, straight to the point. I do it a lot of light talking. She's a bit more of a straight shooter. She'll just say, well, so am I, but she's even more on like readings are really good. Fabulous. Anyway. Okay, so card for Shannon. Let's see what we've got for you, Shannon. Oh, I'm very lucky to know you too. I finally bought some cacao. I ordered it, so I'm going to start using that in my private practice now, I think, with my grief work. I'm going to get the cacao in, so hopefully my clients will enjoy the cacao. I bought a couple of batches of it now, just to trial it. Well, I know it works beautifully. I used to make chocolates with it, but yeah, I'm going to use it in the grief work with my clients just to soften the heart. Yes. So, yes, you're blunt as fuck and we love it. That's why we love you, Shannon. Shannon says I'm blunt as fuck. Yes, but that's why we love her. That's why you always know where you stand with Shannon. That's why we love you so much. Okay, cards for Shannon. Right. Oh, Shannon, a choice needs to be made. A decision needs to be made. A choice needs to be made. Again, Christ. Okay. you know what the message with this card is. It is about not looking for, you've got to think long term. You've got to think long term decision making, not for the short, shiny object or shiny thing, the thing that looks all like fantastic and lusty. You've got to think long term. A decision needs to be made around. So is it, yes, money matters. Of course it does. We know that in business, that to make money, to have a thriving business, we need money to invest in it, to have beautiful places to run from, all the great cacao, all the beautiful candles, all of that sort of stuff. It takes money. Platforms, don't I know it, few thousand every month for me just to have my business online. People don't realize, the cost. So we know that it's going to require an investment, but you've been called to think about the long-term future, which I know that you do. But whatever's been distracting you, that's sort of been lusty, distracting you, it will cause more conflict than it's worth. So the message with this card is focus on the long term. Just focus on the long term. Don't worry about the short-term shiny thing that's sort of on the side there distracting you. Don't let yourself be distracted by that. Now, this is in the sign of Virgo. So there's some practical details that need to be attended to. Some details, practical stuff to do with the boring stuff. Really, it is a bit boring, the practical stuff, but they need to be attended to, some of these detail things. Now, what I will say about this card is be prepared to start now your new business venture. I know that you've got a new ideas with your business. Be prepared to start at the grassroots, and I know that you're not afraid to do that. You're not afraid to do that at all, but it might require you to start doing some one-to-one work with this particular population, that you're moving into, that you're bringing in, opening up something that Shannon's favorite thing. Yes. So so it is about sort of grassroots work. Definitely, it might be like smaller groups. It might start off as smaller groups with these guys. It might start off as something a bit smaller. It might not be mixed either. It might be you with these guys, right? Starting off, with a smaller group, and then of course it's going to grow. Look, there's this grain of you can't see it, but there's a grain of wheat that he's holding. It's a promise. This is I will say this about this card, Shannon, that it is temporary. All the nights are temporary, so it's not going to stay like that forever. There's growth. There's growth from it, and look grounded. He's grounded. Look at the horse. The hoofs are just completely, only horse of all the nights that is completely grounded. Yeah, so I think you've got the message. All right, next person. Leanne. Leanne, oh Christ. Okay, Helen. That's by accident. I wanted to read for Leanne, but Leanne, pop it in again. Yes, Katie, I'm going to read for you too. Katie's next. Katie Bateman. You're next, Katie, after Helen. Okay. How are we going for time? I've gone over time. Everyone. I'll do a few more readings. I haven't gone yet, but I have gone over time. So, all right, Helen. Will my son have a bright future? Will he be successful in his career? Oh, listen, love is on its way. If your son isn't already in a relationship, this is a relationship. This is love. Love will find its way. This is a commitment. This is either a reconciliation or a new love, or a falling in love. He's falling in love, or he's going to fall in love. If he hasn't fallen in love, it's on its way. So don't worry about his career. Don't worry about that. Love. This is a message of love. This is a messenger of love. Oh, fuck, I would love these cards. Like, take me there. Take me to this. This is falling in love. So I don't know if that's happened already, or if it's on its way, but it's definitely there in his field. Love is in the air. I want to sing. That's the song that's coming into my mind now. That song. what's his name? What was his name? Paul something? Whatever his name is, that sings that song. Paul Young? That song. Yes, love. He's on it. If he, maybe this is a proposal, if he's married, if he's preparing, if he's with someone, but it's love. Like he's going to fall in love if he isn't already. Okay. That's for you, Helen. Sorry, nothing about career there. I'm not going to bullshit you. That's what it's about. Katie, hello, Katie Bateman. Katie B now. Katie B does the best human design charts, and she's now doing my tarot. She has been doing my tarot therapy course and is now doing tarot readings as well, tarot therapy readings, combined human design and tarot therapy. She is amazing. I highly recommend her. I pay to have her do her things. Love her readings. She is amazing. If you haven't had a human design reading with her, you must go forth and do it with her. She's skilled. She's got so many skills. She's a trained therapist as well. So, that's always a good sign when someone has that therapeutic background. You know that you've got someone who knows how to hold space therapeutically and that isn't going to say, give you some dodgy advice. She's amazing. So, highly recommend. She actually did my daughter's chart as well. My daughter's human design chart. It's really helpful. It's given me some insight into, and I've remembered some stuff from that, Katie, that I've put into practice when Selena, when she just wants to sit on the sofa, when she's done, I just don't bug her anymore. She's done. Okay, stay. Don't bug her about going outside and playing and get some exercise. It's fine. She's relieved. Not that I harass her, but a little bit. Okay, so Katie, this is for you. Oh, Katie, stop thinking the worst. Okay, so this is like when this card comes up, it is about you. Spirit wants you to focus on making decisions on what you want rather than what you don't want. Start aligning with your future self. Become the woman that you see in the future that you think you can't become. Become her now. So I want you to focus on what you want. Focus on what you want and make aligned decisions based on that, which it is. If you watch the beginning of this reading, this was a powerful weekly energy report. This week's energy report was like the all-in commitment. Go all in. You will have what you want. You're going to have your business trust. But you've got to start making decisions that align with the actual thing that you want. So this is like, it's a fiction of your mind. Like all the fears that you have around things not working, it's a fiction of your mind. You've got to be patient with yourself. The Hermit, okay? So this is about going inwards. This is about reflection. This is about inner reflection, doing some meditation practice. Do your meditate. I know you do meditation practice, but be more of a witness in your meditation practice. Go in and witness, go in and observe your inner reality. If you've sort of fallen out of practice with your rituals, do your journaling, do all of that sort of stuff to reconnect with yourself, to find your purpose again. My message to you is to start to journal on your big why. Why the fuck am I doing what I'm doing? And let it pour out of you to reconnect, to fully align with it again. So, yes, the other thing that I want to say with this card is that you do have a connection with spirit. You do have a connection with spirit, and you can start doing like you can channel. I've seen you do it. I've seen you channel your dad with clarity. You've got that connection. You do have that connection. Trust it, and start writing and channeling, because you can. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed you do it. I've witnessed you channeling. Trust it. Trust that. You need to go inwards and start internally referencing rather than externally referencing your environment, internally referencing what you want. So this is the card of the existential crisis, Katie. This is the card of the existential crisis. This is the card of you wanting questioning again. But, the message with this card is that you're on the precipice of going through some major shifts. So we need to question. We need to question ourselves sometimes. I question our motivations, to create that shift. You know that your work is really psycho-spiritual. It's not really just doing, like, you're not just a hypnotherapist. Like, you work intuitively and spiritually. That is your calling. You feel it in your heart. You've just got to fully claim it. Okay, so that was for Katie. Yes, okay, so I'm going to put a link in here. Here we go. There's a link to my fabulous, it is fabulous, no word of a lie, my amazing tarot therapy 7-month training and mentoring. You will love this. If you love tarot, if you want to have a career as a tarot therapist, I highly encourage you to jump in. You will learn all the great skills. You'll learn Jungian psychology, counseling 101, mediumship techniques. You'll learn about grief counseling and training. You'll also learn dream work, archetypal dream work. You'll also learn all the mythology around these cards, the sacred passageways, psychological insights, all the psychological meanings of the cards. It's such a thorough, intense training, and you also do your own personal therapy during the course. It's fabulous, and I highly encourage you to sign up. If you love tarot and you feel called, trust yourself, jump in. I fully back this. I'm not afraid to back my own course. It is amazing. I need to back my own course because it is amazing. I'm so proud of it. If you've got any questions about it, contact me. And yes, you can have a thriving career in tarot. Just in doing tarot readings for the quarter of October, November, December, I made over $8,000 just doing tarot readings, right? And I only work part-time. So you can make money doing tarot, but you need to set yourself up in a professional practice. Working as a fortune teller is only going to it's only got so much longevity. It's short term. You need to start, developing your skills as a therapist so that people come back, because when they come and see you, they actually get real support, real help. Yeah, and you will have repeat clients. So, okay. How are we going for time? I think that's it, guys. I think I'm done. I think I'm finished. So I'm sending you all so much love. Loved being here tonight. So glad I found my beautiful statue. She's back. Isis found her way home. I'm so thrilled with her. And yes, I'm going to go. I'm going to head off. So Miranda, it's I'm so proud to have you on the course. It's amazing to have you, and I know that you're going to benefit. You're going to benefit, and it will have you standing out as a professional in the field. So, we're here to change the face of the tarot community. I know there are a lot of fortune tellers out there. We need to move away from that kind of practice. I mean, it's great. There is an intuitive practice for sure, but there's also very much a psychological practice that gets ignored that is really important in that setting. Anyway, I've got to go. Mwah, 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 mwah. Sending love, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Big hugs, big love. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sharing, people. Mwah.